The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 163. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of real women producing extraordinary results by finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Get your free audiobook at our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have an amazing lady on today. She's here to share her story on self-confidence. She's an international success coach, yoga instructor, and TV and media personality, and I'm just really excited to have her on. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Mandy Ross. Mandy, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to our listeners.
Hi, Sheena. Thank you so much for having me on today. And hello, everyone. I hope you all are having a positive day out there. Yeah, I was very excited and honored when you asked me to be on your show today, Sheena, because I definitely have had my own journey with self-confidence. And, you know, I have been able to overcome a lot of challenges on that journey to become what I would like to say is a very successful, confident female. So happy to share my learning experiences with you and your listeners.
Awesome. Well, thanks for, being on the show. It's truly an honor. And Mandy, what's your cultural background?
I always like to say to people, I'm a global citizen in a universal family. And I truly feel as though, we really are all in this together in this big transformation. Literally speaking, I am multicultural. I'm a mix of East meets West with English, Irish, Scottish, and Persian in me.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And I love how you said you're a universal global being. I think that's pretty cool. And it's true. We are all just, one group, one family, unity. So thanks for sharing that. And what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
My favorite self-confidence quote is one that I came up with myself, and it is, "Just do you. It's always the best version." And the reason why I was inspired to come up with this quote is because at the end of the day, I truly believe that we're all born with our own individual, beautiful gifts and talents. And in life, it's not about being or emulating, somebody else. It's about being the best version of you. And, we're all a work in progress, but I think that we all have beautiful abilities to be our best us.
I love it. And I love when, ladies come up here and have their own quotes. I think it's amazing. And it's true, right? I believe we're all here for a purpose. And sometimes life gets in the way and we forget that, we are here to live beautiful, happy lives, to go out there and inspire the world. So I really love that quote that you created. And, in your own words, how would you define self-confidence?
Thank you, Sheena. When you asked me to think about this and for me to put something together, I really had to search deep within and think about all that I've gone through and draw from those experiences. So brace yourself. There's a few different things woven into this definition, but I think I cover everything here. So my definition is just believing in yourself and having faith in your dreams, knowing and trusting that you are a valuable person in society, never settling for anything less than you deserve, and being aware of your self-worth, which I think is so important, carrying yourself with class, integrity, dignity, and self-respect, and above all, choosing to be positive through the roller coaster of a life.
I love all the definitions you mentioned, and I love that you said, knowing your worth, because I think as women too, we've been, brainwashed by the media to say, we're not as, if we're not a certain way, then we're not worthy, right? And,
yes.
Beauty is really within us. And when we can tap into that inner beauty, we'll truly know our own worth and people will see that as well. So, love the definitions you mentioned. And Mandy, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
Oh my goodness. I love that you asked me this. It was definitely different than my life is now. I would say I had a really big transformative time just a few years ago, actually. I was guilty of living with the future happiness mindset, and it was a lot easier to allow myself to fall into the trap of thinking that happiness was a destination rather than a present feeling. And so I was working towards my goals and had this notion that once I achieve, X, Y, or Z, life would be so much better. That was a nice thought, a thought only. During those years, I was what I like to call a serial destination queen, because I was mixing that with my perfectionist mindset, and it totally was a recipe for disaster. And, before my transformation, I used to get so frustrated because I was working so hard and I knew I was destined for something huge, yet I still wasn't feeling like I was accomplishing all that I wanted to. And that's when I knew I had to make a big change.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And I think a lot of people do this, right? They're like, I'll be happy when I find a man, or when I get a raise, or when I hit $1 million, not realizing that happiness is a choice and they can be happy at that moment in time. And when they can choose to be happy, that's when, the things that they want in life will start attracting. And I mean, I've been guilty of this as well. It's just like, when I get married, I'll be happy. But it's like, no, I'll be happy now, right? I'm happy to be alive, to be, with amazing people. And I think we just tend to forget that. So, Mandy, what was that point in your life when you realized that you as well could do that? You realized your potential and just went in there and just went for it.
So my aha moment, as you like to refer to it as, is just only, I would say, I've gone through a lot, obviously, on my journey to self-confidence, but I would say a primary significant transformational aha moment time for me was just a few years ago while I was living in Vancouver, British Columbia. I love BC. I started going through what I like to refer to as the start of a quarter life analysis, because I prefer not to use the word crisis. So quarter life analysis. And I had just, I'd gone through so many changes right at that time. I had just ended a serious long-term relationship. My Mandy Ross, who was one of my biggest mentors and someone who I loved dearly, passed away, and I was living on my own for the first time. At that time, I was just feeling very lost, and I wasn't sure which direction I needed to go in. So that's when I realized that I had to face the reality of having to be honest with myself. I knew that if I didn't make significant changes, that I would continue down a path that wasn't making me entirely happy. And on top of that, feeling, I was just feeling so unfulfilled within. Because of that, I also had to face the truth that I wasn't using my gifts and talents to their fullest potential, and therefore I was holding myself back from something so much greater. So, because I was going through all of those emotions, that was when I made the choice to live fearlessly, fully, and to focus on the most important relationship I will ever have, which is my relationship with me. I put myself on what I like to call Operation Soul Nourishment and became immersed in my path to self-discovery.
I love it. And I love that, you said you had to start with you. And, a lot of people tend to forget that if you want things to change, it really has to start within, especially when they say be the change you want to see in the world. That's so true, because people can see that and will change more when they see you living the example. So, after that realization, what's your life been like now?
Yeah, those are all wonderful points, Sheena. I mean, I think it's so easy to try to look externally for something to make us happy. And it isn't until we realize that it's a work in progress, but it's also something that can only come from within. And when we finally do the work that's necessary, that's when we can actually have even more abundance of happiness externally. So what my life is like after, my discovery is, in one word, just transformational. I realize that I'm a work in progress, and I'm still working towards becoming the best version of me. Still, every day, I still go through my quarter life analysis. I'm always, trying to better myself and realize, be aware and be conscious of where I'm at on my journey and what I still want to improve on, but also to be just content with where I'm at as well and honor where I'm at in my life. I think it's really important to celebrate the small things, whether, it's something, simple in life to a huge accomplishment that you've been working towards. And it's like, when you are able to, focus on those small daily accomplishments, they really do add up to a lot. And that helps a lot with self-confidence. So, that being said, the difference after the discovery, however, is that my attitude and approach to life has changed. So my perspective and priorities, along with everything that's going on, have changed as well. I realized that during the time I was searching for the one, whatever that external factor was at the time for myself, as you said, whether it was a partner or a work opportunity or, some other external factor, I was really just trying to find myself. That resulted in a huge breakthrough for me. Now I make it a priority to nourish my soul, as it is only when we love ourselves that we can truly love other individuals. I'm grateful for every day, and I feel happy, healthy, harmonious, and truly at peace with myself. I feel confident in my abilities, and regardless of what happens in life, I remain optimistic throughout my journey. And believe me, there are plenty of ups and downs. My life purpose of being a life cheerleader, inspiring positive change, and helping others still remains the same. The difference is that I have gone through the transformation of diving deep to face my inner shadows and to come out shining brighter than ever before, so that I can share and shine my light on others to make this world a more radiant place.
Awesome. And I love it. And I love that, you still realize it's a work in progress, and people tend to forget that self-confidence is like a lifelong journey, and you have to work on yourself every day. It's just that we are more aware of ourselves, and we are more aware of we can change our feelings in an instant. When we feel sad or mad, we can be aware of it and be like, okay, and then change it whenever we can. So, I love what you've been through and what you stand for. And, it can truly show in your voice, right? When you're speaking, like so much positivity and positive energy. So I really love that. And Mandy, if the woman who's listening to this episode, she may be on her own journey to self-confidence, what would be that one tip you would give to her?
Oh, goodness, girl. I have more than one, so I will try and make this in a nutshell. I want to let all the ladies out there know that, if you look at me, if you're an outside observer, you would see a very confident woman. But I want everyone to know that it has taken a long time for me to get to this level of confidence. It is not an overnight, process. I remember when I was a child, I was on the honor roll. I was an A+ student, but my parents would go to parent teacher night, and straight up, they would tell them that Mandy is incredibly gifted, but she needs to trust herself more. She needs to have more trust in her and faith in her decisions. And that took me a very long time to actually figure out how to break through that. And so it's not, it's not like I woke up and was this confident young lady. It's taken a lot of different experiences, just, dealing with different people, going through different scenarios, and just growing a really tough skin. It's not something that you just develop in 2 seconds. It is a process. So that's definitely something I want all females to know, because I think it's so hard for us to be, to even start just being hard on ourselves. And then on top of that, if you're already not feeling self-confident and you add to that the frustration of, not getting the things you want in life, probably because partly that you are not confident, then you're just going to be even more hard on yourself. So I think it's really important to just be kind to yourself. Know that it's a work in progress, and you're going to get there. It's just going to take some time. So that being said, some really, I thought about this when you asked me, and I have a few things that have really helped me on my journey that I'd love to share. So one would be to develop an optimistic outlook on life, and I believe if you do, you will know success. You hold the key to living a happy life, and it can happen right now in this very moment. You have the power to change yourself, and it all starts from within. Happiness is a choice that you have full control over, ladies. My next piece of advice would be to practice being thankful daily. A lot of people don't necessarily associate gratitude with self-confidence, but it is so relative beyond belief. The best way to cultivate abundance is to realize the abundance of blessings that already exist in your life and to be grateful for them. And ladies, you can start small. Get into the habit of becoming more aware of, the simple everyday blessings that occur throughout your day. I like to begin and end my day by saying prayers of gratitude. And, you can even fit the self-confidence into that prayer. Just say, I'm really thankful for how confident I came across today. I have love for myself. Thank you, to whatever, higher power you pray to. Just being really grateful for who you are and all the beautiful gifts and talents that you already have. And lastly, I would definitely say to all of you ladies, stars can't shine without darkness. It isn't until we face our shadows that we are able to shine our brightest. Therefore, if you are willing to let go and surrender to healing and do the self-work, you can open yourself up to the limitless possibilities that exist and live a life beyond your wildest dreams. Being a positive individual and communicating it through smiling is one of the best ways to show your confidence. We are all a work in progress, and the focus shouldn't be on perfection, but on progression of the mind, body, and soul. Ladies, you were born to shine and to share your beautiful light with the world.
I love it. Thanks for all those amazing tips. I'm sure the ladies and listeners would love that. And Mandy, if our listeners want to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Yes, thank you for asking, Sheena. I love interacting online. I would love to hear from all of you. My website is www.mandy-ross.com, so mandy-ross.com. That has the link to all of my social media platforms, but I will just let you guys know, Instagram and Twitter at Mandy J, as in Jessica, my middle name, Ross, so Mandy J. Ross. I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Snapchat, LinkedIn, and probably other social media apps I can't even think of right now, but I would love to hear from all of you, and I'd also love to hear, more about all of your self-confidence journeys.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that, Mandy. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Mandy, you can also head on over to the taoofselfconfidence.com and search for Mandy's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I really want to thank Mandy for taking the time to share her journey and tips with us on self-confidence. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity today, Sheena. I loved being on the show, and I wish you nothing but love, light, and success. And keep shining, girl.
Love it. Thank you, Mandy. It was such an honor to have you on. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for joining us at the Tao of Self-Confidence. Head over to the taoofselfconfidence.com for full recaps of every show, our amazing blog articles and resources, and just plain fun. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. So start today.